TGIF, yay, a day late, but that's okay. So, or TGIS, thank goodness it's Saturday. Thank God it's Saturday. Yeah. I mean, really, when you think about it, right? Each and every day when we wake up, it's a gift. I mean, we're on this side of the dirt. We're starting off well. So anyway, my name is Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and I am super stoked to have this conversation with you, especially as we enter a new year, because there's all this talk about manifestation, lots of it. There's Abraham Hicks, Wayne Dyer, so I love both of them. Wayne Dyer talks a lot about it. There's lots of people out there. Joe Dispenza talks about it as far as attracting more positivity to you. So here's the thing. First of all, we got to realize we manifest who we are, not just I'm going to manifest a new bicycle. Now I'm saying that, not that I'm saying that can't happen, but really it's kind of like if you want that special, that soulmate to walk through the door, you got to be that. You got to live that way, right? You got to be loving and open and looking to give, not take, that whole thing. If you live generously, all that generosity is going to come back at you, so it's a combination of who you are combined with what your authentic heart's desires are. So that's the first thing. Next, you got to make the space. No big surprise. And I have to do a shout out to Aaron Doughty. I really like him, and it was a long time ago I was listening to one of his videos about, and he compared to a walk-in closet. So here's the thing: if you want that new person, if you want traveling in your heart's desires, if that's what your heart desire is, if you want a new career, if you already like your career and you want it to be a calling, you want to really be like, you can't wait to get there and you're excited the way home and you're on fire with it. If you want a promotion, if you want a new house and kids and all these things, or whatever it is or you want to write the children's book, start your own business, whatever, you got to create the space for it. That's not a huge shockerino, because and Aaron Doughty talked about the walk-in closet. He made an analogy with a new wardrobe. So even just a new outfit, we can even say, you want this new outfit, new wardrobe to wow yourself, start off new, maybe wow your friends at work or school, whatever. Well, here's the thing. If you go into this big walk-in closet and it's jam-packed with old shoes, old sneakers, belts, purses, briefcases, ties, suits, dresses, skirts, whatever. Some of it you've had in there for 2 years, 3 years, or let's say 80% of it is probably yard sale stuff, right? But it's all in there. It's packed, jam-packed. You can't even see what you have anymore. You go in and you're wearing the same thing, which is true for most of us. It's that 80-20 rule. We're wearing the same 20% every day anyway. And you're just kind of picking off the same things like a uniform. Well, here's the thing. That new wardrobe isn't coming into your life. Why? Because there's no room for it. So now that's the example. That stuck with me. I watched that video probably 2 or 3 years ago. And it stayed with me because it's so tangible. It's so good. Because if our life, picture the closet thing, if you kind of move that metaphorically over to, we want that love of our life. We want that partner that we just click with and share values with, and they're fun and exciting and intellectually curious and all these things. That person is not walking in your life if your closet is full, metaphorically, in your head. Like if your schedule on a Google Calendar is all full of colored blocks, and you're full of busy dashness. If you're full of busy dashness, nobody's walking in your life because energetically there's no opening for somebody to walk in your life. So it's such a good example, and you could change that to travel and jobs and promotions and houses and kids and all that. And kids aren't happening either if there's not a lot of space. I mean, it just isn't how it works. Or at least not as quickly as you'd like it to happen. So we want to open that door. We want to create the space. Get rid of the old clothes, so to speak. Get rid of, a lot of the busyness. Get rid of things you don't absolutely need to do, which is a good idea anyway. Because when we create that white space is when the creativity happens anyway. Okay, so next. All right, so we talked about that. Got to realize we attract who we are, combined with heart's desires, not just some material thing, usually, okay? We got to create the space. And then lastly, or thirdly, I'm not sure if I have another one after this, I'll get to that, is we've got to realize how it works, okay? So thoughts come first. Everything starts in the head. Everything. Think about it. If if like people say like you are what you eat. Well, the apple's not too so important if you don't have a brain to create the thoughts, right? I mean, it's just true. I'm not dismissing nutrition because nutrition is very important, but without the thought, there are no feelings. So you are what you eat doesn't even make any sense. If you don't have a brain, you don't care about the apple, right? Can't eat. Doesn't make any sense. All right, so thoughts lead to feelings, lead to actions, and that's how it works. Here's the other thing is that thoughts, this is where it starts, is with the thoughts. That's the best place to start because it's here. Thoughts, when they grow up, turn into beliefs, because there's a difference of in levels, like a deeper level. So thoughts is where we start, and then it gets deeper, and then it's in our belief system. So think of that as the hard drive, kind of takes on a life of its own. So here's the thing with manifesting, you will see it once you believe it. It sounds like the opposite of what we hear, right? You'll believe it once you see it. It's a total opposite, energetically opposite. We will see it, thoughts to things, what we're thinking turning into that relationship, the house, the travel, the whatever, once we actually believe it. So that's where the act as if comes in. So now I'm not done yet. Thoughts, deeper, beliefs, and then when beliefs grow up, they turn into a sense of knowing. So if you've ever, of course, if you've lived this much, you really know what that sense of knowing is like. In fact, the house we're in right now, I knew when I walked 3 feet in the front door before even seeing the rest of it, I knew that I just felt it. I just felt that this was the place for us. We had outgrown the other little house, and we had 5 kids. Actually, yes, we did have 5 at that time. Sorry about my little Delaney, yes. She was here right before we moved, and I just walked in the door, and like I just knew, it just totally came over me. More importantly than that, my first example is my beloved husband. I knew really quickly when we were dating. He says the same thing. It was a sense of knowing. We knew that we were it for each other. Match made in heaven. Just knew. So you've had that experience of just knowing. So thoughts starts, beliefs gets in the hard drive, and then that sense of knowing. So we must act as if we already have whatever it is we are looking for. If that's a fatter bank account, and I'm not saying that shallowly, material. No, we need money to live. That's the reality, and it's not bad. My mastermind group and we talk about this a lot because, yes, we're all entrepreneurs. Is it about dumping value into the world first? Absolutely, positively. Is it okay to also want that to be lucrative for us? Of course it is, because money it's just how it is, kind of equals freedom, right? It's just true. We need money to live, and when we get, it's just true. And so of course we want our businesses to take off. That by making a difference in the world, by dumping value into the world, by dumping positivity into the world, and then the freedom to do what we want to do, to travel and to do stuff with family, spending more on experiences rather than stuff. That's another biggie. And so it's very, very important to act as if you already have the fatter bank account. And you can do it in increments. Actually, I have a friend of mine from that group. We did a podcast. You can look that up on my YouTube channel. She did a whole thing about this, was specifically with money, because people have a really tough time saving, and not just because of the income part, but the actual saving. Like there's money's coming in. I'm not saying tons of money, but some money's coming in, and they have a hard time hanging on to it because that's a whole dynamic going on that's here. But anyway, so we've got to make the space for that. We've got to make the space for the money to come in, just like we have to make the space for the partner. We've got to have that all be the sense of knowing. So act as if you have the fat bank account, or fatter growing bank account, right? Maybe you're $10 a week more ahead than you were before, or whatever. But act as if that loving partner is on their way. You're just putting it out there, and you've created some space. Act as if that dream house or a new apartment, whatever the situation is on its way, because this is how it happens. Why? And I've talked about it. It's not just woo-woo for me. Woo-woo for some people, not for me. My doctorate's in cognitive psychology. So the fact is, we are all walking bundles of neurons. So when we act as if, it teaches the brain to kind of attract more. It also with the good feels, actually. When we're putting out gratitude, gratitude, which is I live gratitude every single day, just gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. It teaches the brain to attract more of it, to look for more of it, which is also why it's really, really, really important as you manifest things. Maybe the big thing is here, but you got a phone call on the way to that big thing that was in the favor of that big thing. On the way, you celebrate that so much. Because when we breathe in the good feels, it teaches the brain what it feels like when abundance lands in our lap. It's like, wow, this is exactly what I was looking for. Thank you. The more we thank God or the universe or whoever that is for you, the more we give thanks to the creator of all things, it just comes back, comes back, comes back. And it's actually teaching the brain to be okay with it, because sometimes our biggest self-sabotager, well, it's ourselves, definitely, is we're like, oh no, I can only have so much, and then I'm gonna, we self-sabotage ourselves, because the truth is we can only be as happy as we feel we deserve. That's the fact, Jack. It's all in the unconscious mind. The unconscious drives the bus. So that was the other thing, is if in order to be successful, in order to manifest whatever these things are that you're trying to manifest, job, career, calling, travel, person, house, kids, whatever, you've got to feel that you're worth it, or it isn't gonna happen anytime soon. That's just how it is. And because we can only be as happy as we feel we deserve. That's just true. So, okay, there, we mapped it out. I mean, we manifest who we are combined with our heart's desires. We got to create the space for the person, the travel, the house, the job, whatever, to come in. And then we got to realize that it goes thoughts, beliefs, knowing, act as if. And at the very beginning, or the foundation of all of it, is believing that we deserve to have all this abundance. All of it. There is no shortage of abundance. The universe is infinite. It's not like it's not like there's like a pizza and you're at a little dinner thing with 5 people and everybody got one piece and there's only 3 left. Usually there are 8 pieces, and like you taking another one without asking everybody else would kind of be impolite, right? Well, that's not the same with abundance in the universe. It's infinite. Everybody's got as much pizza as they could eat in 55,000 lifetimes plus. It's infinite. So you can shed the guilt from that, because the guilt of having good things in your life will also keep it away. The universe will say, oh, they don't like that, what I just sent them. They just got a little miracle check. They overpaid the insurance company. They got an extra $400 they didn't expect. Oh, they feel guilty. Don't give them any more. No, we don't want that. Just say thank you. Not accepting it gracefully is like not opening. It's like somebody walks in the door and they traveled or something, this beautifully wrapped present just because, and it's like putting it on the counter and saying, oh, that's nice, thanks, I'll open it later, let's go to lunch. Like, it's terrible. So it's very important to, figuratively speaking, open the gift, accept, cherish, throw up gratitude all over it, and that's how the manifestation thing really comes together, because you are believing that you're worthy of it, and you're believing it's happening, and you're pouring gratitude out to the universe, which is saying, yes, bring it on, more abundance. Okay, awesome. Hope everyone has a happy, healthy, prosperous New Year.